Welcome to Daggerfall. I will never forgive you for what you did. That relic is going to cause horrible suffering in the world. I'm leaving this ship. Leaving Colleen. Perhaps I'll go out on my own. Whatever happens, stay out of my way.
If you want a horse, then we have something to talk about. If you want gossip, find the tavern.
The proud city of Daggerfall greets you. Can I help you with something? The Sea-Mount War Chief. Impressive. I don't know what you did to convince him, friend. But you have my gratitude. Well done. I will take this petition to High King Emmerich immediately. Enjoy your stay in Daggerfall. fool. Your interference will not be tolerated.
Jour, Denis, ta.
Anything can be made better through enchantment. Anything. Don't believe me? Give it a try. Of course. Enchanting is the art of empowerment. We gather runes found throughout the world, and use our special instruments to assemble them into glyphs. These glyphs can be used to magically enhance worn or wielded items. Not exactly. Runes can be extracted from glyphs you find while adventuring. It's a delicate process, so you'll have to return to one of our workstations to proceed. Note that the glyph will be destroyed in the process. Unfortunate, but necessary. Glyphs are assembled by combining 3 different runes. Potency runes determine the glyph's strength. Aspect affects the glyph's quality. Finally, the essence rune decides the glyph's effect. It's a delicate art best learned by doing. Good luck. Anything can be made.
Nobody cares about us poor beggars.
Could you help me? I'm next. I know I'm going to be next. Murder. My friends are already dead, but the Watch doesn't care. What's one less beggar? We're nothing to them. If someone found the killer... Start in the Trade District alleys. That's where old Gian was murdered just yesterday. Maybe Lieutenant Dubois will give you a reward if you do his job for him. Thank you. It's a terrible thing to be poor. You're invisible. No one cares. I'll tell you whatever I know. The Watch found old GN last night. The night before, it was Ragged Ron. When one of us dies, they blame the cold or the plague. But GN and Ron were cut up something horrible. Now they say it's a wolf. Can you believe it? A wolf in the city? But that's what the Watch thinks. Who am I to say any different? Still, it feels more like murder than the work of a wild animal to me. We're everywhere. We're easy prey. Some folks just don't like us. Take your pick. This killer isn't stopping, it's brutal. Sooner or later, it's gonna start killing a better class of citizen. Then the Watch will take action.
Scaleri. The armor I sell didn't just fall off the back of a caravan wagon. It's the finest medium-weight armor that your gold can buy. I get it.
Flowers for sale. A posy to gain a sweetheart's favor, perhaps? Oh, that's a pity. Well, now this is a mess. I'm taking a chance here. Sometimes I hear strange things, like what's on that note. Black roses with thorns. I've heard whispers of dark nature magic. That's just the kind of thing Roy, your dead man, would be interested in. With the note? I don't know. That's just what Roy did. He would find out things. Daggerfall has many eyes and ears. After all, information is cheaper than war.
Welcome, friend. You can't get better fruits or vegetables anywhere in Daggerfall. I guarantee it. Look, I don't want any trouble. That's a phrase used by the King's intelligence network. It means someone's going to get killed. I don't want to know anything more. Just leave me out of this. I said leave me alone. Take your questions and go. I'm not involved in this. This sounds like something that Roy would want to know about. I sell the best fruits and vegetables in Daggerfall. Lots of people come by, I talk, and I listen. Then I talk to my friends, like Roy. As for other people, maybe they should decide what they're going to do, now that they know so much. Damn persistent, aren't you? Roy's a friend. I trust him. People I don't know, I don't trust. And I don't know you.
Care to bargain?
That damn dog keeps approaching me. I think it wants me to follow it.
The dog probably wants a handout. Like half the peasants in the city. At least a dog won't bite the hand that feeds it.
Slayed Captain Blackheart. Thank the Divines for brave souls like you.
Get out of here. It'll kill you too. It's a monster, I tell you. A monster! Prowls the alleys, shreds its victims with claws and fangs. It'll kill anyone that crosses its path. There's a dead man in the south alley, but he's no beggar. He's one of those Bloodthorn cultists. The beast prowls along the river's edge and hunts in the alleys. It doesn't eat what it kills. It just slaughters and leaves the corpses for the rats. It's the curse of Camlorn. I want no part of this evil. Haven't you heard? Everyone's talking about it. The town of Camlorn's been taken over by an army of werewolves. Don't look at me like that. I heard Damien and Fabian talking about it.
It was a monster. It tore out Guillaume's throat and disappeared into the river. It was hideous.
I've never seen the citizens so agitated. Even the beggars seem nervous these days. A werewolf killed those beggars? You're certain? Damn. I shouldn't have ignored Matthew when he came to me. Take this as a reward, but say nothing. People are nervous enough as it is. I promise not to dismiss the concerns of the poor again. I learned a hard lesson. I won't turn away anyone who's in trouble again. Not on my watch. Not even a beggar. With you? Yes, of course. But please, keep your voice down. No need to alarm anyone unnecessarily. I'd say it were a lot of superstitious nonsense. Except the rumors keep coming. They say that werewolves have overrun Camlorn, north of here. With the way the Lion Guard has been acting, there's certainly something going on up that way. Fight a werewolf? Never had the opportunity, and I hope it stays that way. A werewolf's bite carries the creature's curse. It can turn you into one of them. Or so I've heard it said.
Twice-cursed pig thieves? Thieves? Daggerfall is full of them. They steal anything that's not nailed down. They even stole my livestock. This was no simple robbery. It was grand larceny, and I know who did it. The Faun stole my glutton. He's been itching to put my prized pig on his menu, serve him up in a stew at his wretched inn. Glutton's missing, and I just know Lafont took him. They said to take it up with the magistrate, but that takes too long. Poor Glutton doesn't have that much time. I need someone to rescue him before he becomes a ham sandwich.
doing what I think you're doing, just stop now!
In the name of the king.
Yes, I know. You want to get to know me better. Everyone does. It's a curse, really.
I have little time to waste.
You get used to the splinters, in case you wonder. Is your shipment headed for Cyrodiil? No matter, we'll get it working. I hear the roads aren't safe. Good thing your package travels by sea.
Welcome to the Rosy Lion, friend. Have a seat, and I'll pour you a mug of something strong. Did he say I stole his damn hog again? I didn't. Not this time, not last time, not ever. Do you see a pig on a spit in here? Most likely Glutton broke out and started rooting in the alleys again. Every time the pig escapes, Wigton accuses me of thievery. Every time! Ugh, what a nuisance. Look, check the alleys in the northeast section of the city. The sooner that pig's found, the sooner Wigton will shut up and leave me in peace. Go on. I'm sure you'll find that hog of a pig rooting around in the northeast alleys.
Spare a coin for the needy.
What are you doing near that vine? You won't live to reveal our secrets.
You found him! You found my wonderful little glutton! I bet Lafont was hiding him there, until he could turn poor glutton into ribs and chops. But now I've got my prized pig back. Lafont's guilty of something, I'm sure of it. But what do I care about strange vines? Talk to Jagesh over by the Mages Guild if you're so interested. He knows his plans. Sold me some herbs one time when a glutton ate something that upset his tummy.
Keep to your business.
Ah, someone new to talk to. Are you here for something specific, or just to say hello? A strange vine. Unusually thick and covered in thorns? In the city? Son of a troll! I've seen such vines to the north. They're connected to the Bloodthorn cult. A clear indication that the cult is corrupting the land. Be wary of those vines. Wherever they appear, the Bloodthorn cult isn't far behind. Well, don't dawdle. Ask your questions. I don't have all day. They're death mages led by the cursed Reachman Angoff, the Gravesinger. I heard they were causing trouble north of Glenumbra. They must be getting bolder if they're operating in Daggerfall. Angoff's a Reachman, one of those magic-cursed savages from the border of Bang Korai. But he's more than that. He's a necromancer. They call him Gravesinger because he made a deal with the Daedric prince, Molag Bal. Angoff and the Bloodthorn cult used them for some foul purpose. If you see the vines, that usually means the cult is active in the area. The vines spread an evil poison through the soil. It's a hateful substance that kills everything it touches.
For the Knights of the King!
Honor and steel!
What a beautiful day. We couldn't have asked. Welcome to the Harvest Festival. Is this your first visit to Badman's Hollows? The Badman is one of the old gods, the source of all strife and the god of crop failure. According to local tradition, appeasing him will ensure a good harvest. Superstitious nonsense, but an excellent excuse for a festival. First, we gather baskets of fresh apples and bags of hardy grain. Then we burn them on the sacrificial altar in his honor. After that comes the feast. Help us gather the offering, and I'll see that you get a seat of honor. May our humble offerings bring Sheor's mercy upon us. Then we feast. Like I said before, it's probably just superstition. But as my great-uncle Nicodemus used to say, it couldn't hurt. We're a friendly folk here in the Hollows. We share our traditions with all who would respect them. And it's always nice to see a fresh face at the table. Brothers and sisters, the newcomer has made an offering to the Badman. Join with me in celebration. Badman, stern hand of the harvest, master of blight and plenty, accept this gift. Feed and grow stronger.
May his hunger never be sated. May his roots grow ever deeper.
Well done. As a final step, you must scatter dirt on the fire. According to the legend, just as our crops feed on the soil of the Hollows, so too will the Badman feed. Also, it's a tradition. Humorous.
You're not one of them. Please, you must help me. Help me get free of these roots. Then I'll explain everything. Self-preservation. Roots first, then answers. The dead shock over there. I killed it before these roots grabbed me. Cut out its fire gland, then use it to burn away these roots. Hurry! Lucky you came along when you did. We've got a lot of work to do. That was no harvest festival. Those people are Daedra worshippers, and we're in terrible danger. We need to get out of these tunnels. We're directly beneath the tree. Except it's not a tree. It's a minor Daedric lord. The tree's roots are the key. He channels dark energy through them to keep this pocket of oblivion from collapsing upon itself. Destroying the roots will hurt him. The same way you freed me. Use shocklands to burn the roots in these caverns. That should weaken him. I'll work on planning our escape. Once you've burned the roots, come and find me. Yes, I'm sure you do. Eveline. I was part of a circle of mages testing the boundaries of conjuration. I'd say we were wildly successful, mortal terror notwithstanding. A minor Daedric lord. On this plane, it manifests itself as a giant tree at the center of the Hallows. No, this wasn't the work of any Breton god. The being we're dealing with is a Dremora lord. It adopted the guise of the bad man to lure the gullible into its trap. The search for divine knowledge, natural curiosity, lots of reasons. Look, if we knew it would corrupt our circle, impersonate an old harvest god, and drain the souls of the living, we certainly would have reconsidered. Deep beneath the roots of the tree. We're not in Glenumbra anymore. The Hallows and these tunnels exist on another plane, a pocket realm. The more the tree grows, the larger this realm becomes. If left unchecked, it could destroy half of Glenumbra. Eveline. I was part of a circle of mages testing the boundaries of conjuration. I'd say we were wildly successful, mortal terror notwithstanding. Many were killed. Their undead corpses still roam these tunnels. The rest were corrupted by the being we conjured. They're mindless followers now, doing its bidding. They created the Harvest Festival to trap and sacrifice unwary travelers. No, this wasn't the work of any Breton god. The being we're dealing with is a Dremora lord. It adopted the guise of the bad man to lure the gullible into its trap. The search for divine knowledge, natural curiosity, lots of reasons. Look, if we knew it would corrupt our circle, impersonate an old harvest god, and drain the souls of the living, we certainly would have reconsidered. I can only assume you were sacrificed. I don't know why you weren't immediately consumed. The souls of the living are like meat and bread to this thing.
Fascinating. The roots do not consume you. Well, that may prove useful. The name is Finbeer. I was part of the circle of mages that summoned the Dremora Lord, now posing as the bad man. I can help keep his power in check, but I'll need your help. The Dremora killed many of my circle. Their undead bones wander these tunnels, clutching the gems we used in the ceremony. Bring me some of them. If the Dremora is banished, I can use them to prevent him from ever returning to this realm.
Well, you got his attention. I can feel his energy shifting. He's angry. You've definitely got his attention. Now we need to take the fight to him. Here are the shocklands I collected. We need to find a way to feed them to the Dremora directly. Nicholas lived? Traitorous, lying bastard. He was part of our circle. If he's alive, he made a deal with the Dremora. But you may be right. The altar may be the answer. We must get you back to the Glen.
Well, is it done? Well done. Once banished, the Dremora will never be able to return to Nirn. Thank you for your assistance. I hope this ritual will somehow make amends for my partner's whole sordid affair. Farewell, friend. I'll be sure the ritual goes properly next time.
much death. You live? Of course. His anger came after you were consumed in flame. Soon after you were sacrificed, the bad man became enraged. He turned on us, rained death upon the grove. It was consumed in fire. And now you return. What did you do? Of course! That may be the only way to defeat him. Quickly now, burn the Shocklands at his altar. He'll be forced to consume them, and they'll burn him from the inside out. You must hurry. It's our only chance.
Over here! I need help!
You dare to oppose me?
I felt it. A shift in the plains. Is it done? We should leave this place. With the Daedra banished, the Glen will collapse in upon itself. Thank you for all you've done. I hope you'll have the good taste to not mention that I was involved in all this.
Interested in a set of new clothes? Something in silk, perhaps? No one ever leaves my shop empty-handed. I'm afraid those aren't for sale. The Crescent Moon is the heraldry of the Casimir family, the rulers of Daggerfall. Dead? Rugged fellow had a dog? That's Roy. Well, that was Roy. I'm sorry he's dead, but I'm not surprised. If you figure out what Roy knew and who killed him, I'm sure someone will reward you. It's also a good way to get yourself killed. If a crime has been committed, talk to Captain Alessian. It's his job to keep the city safe, so he's as good a choice as any. He's usually by the great stairs behind the Mages Guild. He likes to keep an eye on the approach to the castle. I guess. I liked Roy. He watched out for the merchants around here. And in exchange, we helped Roy. I listened and let Roy know what people were saying. If we ever told him something important, Roy made sure the right people were informed. Roy was a good man, loyal to Daggerfall. People trusted him. Even that old dog loved him.
Fool! Your interference will not be tolerated.
Honor and steel.
Welcome to Daggerfall. Move along. Roy, where is he? Why did he send a stranger in his place? Dead. Mara's hands. Let me look at that note. It's our code, all right. Someone who uses dark nature magic is planning to assassinate King Casimir. But who's behind this? I need to know more. Just don't try to play me for a fool. But with Roy dead, I don't seem to have much of a choice. Talk to Glenumbra Moors at the Rosy Lion Inn. If Roy was onto something, she'll know what to do. Betray us and, well, she'll still know what to do.
For the Knights of the King.
Progress is slow.
I'm busy. Can't you see I'm drinking here? And? Why are we talking? By Malakath. Roy stepped on a nest of snakes this time. One of the vipers is upstairs. He might know something. I'd confront him, but he knows me. Maybe a stranger like you can get him to talk. Eager. Reminds me of Roy. Go upstairs. Find Levesque and rattle his teeth, but don't kill him. We may need him later. Just don't mention me. I'm not an agent of the Crown. I'm just an orc enjoying her ale.
To fight a wrongful fate.
Discovered. Don't let them get me. You don't think I had anything to do with that, do you? Agreed. I'll tell you everything I know. Martin Lerino hired me. He lives next door to the inn, in the large manor house.
I'm a mason, you see. Martine wanted me to make him a map of the tunnels beneath Daggerfall. The secret ones that lead to the castle. But I don't know what he's planning, I swear. I just needed the gold. I've got my own troubles back in Wayrest.
You're back. What happened? I thought I heard some noise upstairs, but you don't look any worse for the wear. Did you let that snake Levesque live? Martine the merchant? We need to know everything. Get inside Larano's manor. Look for anything that can shed light on what they're planning. I'll stay here and keep an eye on Levesque, so take anything you find straight to Captain Erison.
I heard that they discovered a light of Meridia floating above the Library of Dusk.
Kill the intruder!
My stomach thinks my throat's been cut.
Most of the royal family is safe, but his lordship is brave and stubborn. He refuses to leave the throne room. I need more information to convince him of the danger he's in. Most of the royal family is safe, but his lordship is brave and stubborn. He refuses to leave the throne room. I need more information to convince him of the danger he's in. His lordship. Keep this quiet, or we'll never find the assassins in time. Divines help us if the king is killed. It could destroy the Alliance. I've taken every precaution to protect the royal family, but the king refuses to lay low. We need to find those assassins. Good. Talk to Sisana Atabas. She oversees the docks. Tell her what you discovered and she'll help in any way she can. Now hurry. The king's life is in danger.
Unless this is about cargo, I can't talk right now. I'm extremely busy. The assassins are in my port. Find these snakes and kill them. But do it quietly. I don't want to start a panic. I'll alert the guards. If any of these conspirators get past you, we'll cut them down.
I suppose I could use another break.
In the name of the king.
My lord, you must go now.
I will not. The dragon does not flee its lair.
They're coming for you. Wait, what was that?
Death to the king.
Get the king out of here. Go!
Flank, now! To the side! Go wrong!
A lizard with a crown.
Victory!
Strike for the Bloodthorn.
Death to the king!
We strike for the Bloodthorn.
Death to the king!
Victory!
Victory! Death to the king!
Go wrong!
Strike the Bloodthorn. Die.
Flank, now! Victory!
Death to the king.
and protect the king! Move to flank!
Stand in Angof's way.
Get to the king!
Good riddance. Captain, this isn't easy for me to say, but I want to apologize for ignoring your warnings.
It was nothing, my king. I apologize if I was impertinent in my duty.
Not at all, Alessian. Rise, please. In service to Daggerfall, our friend here is to have any support the Watch or the Knights can provide.
Of course. We'll do whatever we can to help find Angof and determine his motives. All of Daggerfall stands behind our hero.
It would seem that the captain's concern for me was well-founded. You saved me from this assassin's blade, as well as from my own foolishness this day. Indeed. The body on my floor proves that. Who was this man who came to kill me? What did he want? Angof? I've heard this name whispered by my agents. The Royal Spy Master reports of unrest across my kingdom, stirred into a froth by this Angof. But that's all we know. Creating chaos is a method, not a goal. It's a means, not an end. There's more going on here than chaos for its own sake. We must get to the bottom of this. Oh yes, my friend. I hereby grant you special dispensation to investigate the villain Angof in my name. But you must keep this quiet, for we don't want to tip our hand. I shall never forget your service this day, however.
Honor and steel.
For the Knights of the King!
For King Casimir! For Daggerfall!
Stranger, a caution, my friend. If you're following this road, know that Dellen's Mill is lost. The land's turned against us. Spriggans and imps have overrun the mill. My family and I escaped, but the rest of the villagers weren't so lucky. I don't know. There might be a way to help the other villagers. A group of women showed up as we fled, threw spells around and called themselves the Weird Sisters. They helped us escape. Maybe they know what's going on out there. I'm taking my family to Daggerfall. We'll be safer there. Our friends and neighbors, they were trapped by the imps. There was nothing we could do but run for our lives. Thank you, my friend. You're certainly braver than I am. I'm sad to admit. Shay or curse me, but I have no idea. Dellen's Mill is always focused on our work. We don't get involved in politics or feud with our neighbors. Of course, chopping down trees could make a Spriggan angry, I suppose. Well, not since I've lived in Dellen's Mill. Come to think of it, those strange vines that recently sprung up are new. I couldn't cut them even with my finest axe. You'll see them soon enough. They're especially thick up north. You can't miss them. They're all twisted and diseased looking. I'd suggest staying far away from those awful vines. They're nothing but trouble, of that I'm sure.
You aren't one of the villagers. Who are you to nonchalantly walk through flames and forest? You smell of the city of stone. Have you come to cleave our forest? Rip up our soil? Haven't the spirits already been enraged enough by your kind? So you say. My sisters and I serve the Beldama Weird. We have a duty to uphold. You? I don't know your true intentions. Still, we could use the help of someone who isn't quite as attached to the forest as we are. You might My sister Olina is still out there, probably trapped somewhere between the fires and the enraged forest creatures. The fires burn, our sister is missing, and the villagers are dying. Something needs to be done. Get everyone back here and we can keep them safe. For a while. In the meantime, we'll work on what to do next. And make sure you put those fires out. This building won't provide much protection if it burns to the ground. We are the Witches of the Weird. We serve the Weird Tree and the forest as our home. If this was Breton against Breton, we would not get involved. But something unnatural caused this. The forest has been wounded, and that concerns the Beldama Weird. We stand apart, but we aren't heartless. No one deserves to die for something they haven't done. Isn't it obvious? The people of the City of Stone caused this. They have no regard for the natural world. Nature only bends so far before it begins to suffer. Then it reasserts itself. Nature always prevails. That's why the vines appear. The vines. They started appearing weeks ago, bursting through the soil and spreading throughout Glenumbra. We've never seen such vines before, and even the Weird Tree was engulfed by the strange growths. Whatever's happening, no one is safe.
The spirit of the weird weeps, for something drives her children mad. I fear for the innocents in this village. The forest is enraged, filled with hatred. We tried to calm it as we always have before, but our magic falters. Never have the elemental spirits refused to answer our calls. The grass, the trees, the very earth itself, they're dying. For now, our purpose is to defend the villagers from these creatures. I can construct a simple ward to protect the mill, but we are far from the weird tree. I shall require a focus. Take this creature, born and bound to the essence of Aetherius, and let it guide you to what I need. Hopefully, it will find enough to establish the ward. The weird tree, the spirit that gives life to this land. My sisters and I are Beldama Weird. We serve the weird tree. We came here to discover why anger infests this part of the forest. No, and that worries me. The forest no longer speaks to us. We sensed that something was wrong, and that's why we came here. But beyond that, we are at a loss as to how to make things right. Let this torch bug fly where it will. Let it guide you to the essence of Aetherius. It will find the soil that is most pure and draw out what I need for my focus.
I thought I was the last one left out here. Well, get up here and fight beside me. Today is a glorious day to die. Every last one of the damn things that got too close. A Nord never gives up, and a Nord never backs down from a fight. I'll keep fighting and swinging my axe until my arm falls off. And then I'll find a way to fight some more. I'm not afraid to die, stranger. But I might as well do it while defending the village. Thanks for the help. I look forward to fighting at your side back at the mill.
No more! Mura will not stand for it! You won't hurt any more of Mura's friends! These creatures show up in the night, try to take everything from Mura. This one has worked hard to make friends, find people who would accept her. Mura will not allow these beasts to kill her friends. Do you speak the truth? Mura thought everyone was dead. Now you tell me good news, and hope fills this one's heart. Mura has heard tales of the witches who roam the west. Some good, some bad. This one will not turn down help, though, yes? Mura will find her way back to the mill. Just let one of those creatures get in this one's way.
I don't want to die out here. You've got to help me! Injured? Injured? What does that matter? Everyone's dead! I think I'm the only one left. Survivors. I'm not all alone? Oh, thank the eight. I have to get to the mill and see who else is still alive.
Stay with me. We'll get out of this somehow.
She can't be gone.
She's gone. I'm sorry. But we have to extinguish these fires somehow. Otherwise, we're going to join her. Did my sisters send you to aid us? May the Mother's spirits guide us. I tried so hard, but I wasn't able to save more than this single villager. I'll make sure we both get back to the mill.
No! My beautiful daughter!
It's, good you got here when you did. You were much more, merciful than I was about to be to those creatures. Ha! Better than those imps after I get through with them. Assuming you didn't kill them already. You did. Kill them all, I mean, didn't you? Will, of course. Well, if I do run into any hostile creatures along the way, they'll regret the day they decided to invade our village.
Perhaps I was too quick to pass judgment on you. These people, including my sister Olina, owe you their lives. The remaining fires should burn out soon. You did what you could, but the forest's rage has ravaged this village. It's terrible, for sure. But a small part of me is thankful that these saws won't operate again. My sisters and I should be able to open a path to safety, but we'll need your help again to make this work. Isn't it obvious? The people of the City of Stone caused this. They have no regard for the natural world. Nature only bends so far before it begins to suffer. Then it reasserts itself. Nature always prevails. That's why the vines appeared. The vines. They started appearing weeks ago, bursting through the soil and spreading throughout Glenumbra. We've never seen such vines before, and even the weird tree was engulfed by the strange growths. Whatever's happening, no one is safe.
Bring forth the blood offering.
The sacrifices you make are all done in my name. You are and will always be my son. Patient, but not that patient.
I mourn the creatures you were forced to kill. They usually aren't so aggressive. May the essence of Aetherius protect us all. Now please, stand back. I must perform the ritual of wording. Oh, I hope this works. There. I think that's done it. Come with me. Good. It worked. That's a perfectly fine ward, if I do say so myself. That ward will buy us some time. Now we have to figure out what to do next. Agreed. The mill is safe for now, but we need to get the villagers out of here. My sister Johanna has a plan to help the villagers, but we need your assistance. If you're willing to help us, please talk to her. The Weird Tree, the spirit that gives life to this land. My sisters and I are Beldama Weird. We serve the Weird Tree. We came here to discover why anger infests this part of the forest. No, and that worries me. The forest no longer speaks to us. We sensed that something was wrong, and that's why we came here. But beyond that, we are at a loss as to how to make things right.
There's one last thing we need you to do. My sisters and I should be able to open a path to safety, but we'll need your help again to make this work. We can travel along the roots of the Weird Tree. That's how we were able to get here so quickly. But there's some kind of corruption in the soil, and now that path is blocked to us. The roots need to be nourished with pure energy. Nothing is more pure than life itself. We can use the life force of the creatures to nourish the roots of the Weird Tree. Kill one of the creatures near each root. Their life essences should provide the power we need to get the villagers out of here. Look for the roots of the weird around the mill. Remember that those creatures must give up their lives near the roots, or the roots won't absorb their life essences. Any creature you kill away from a root is a life extinguished for no reason. The Weird Tree sustains us. From its roots, we draw strength. From its leaves, we find comfort. Its roots stretch through all of Nirn, and thus its power touches everything.
were able to get all the villagers through the portal. They're safe in our camp for now.
I should return to our camp and help protect the villagers. My sisters will continue to look into the madness that occurred here. Perhaps you could help them, if you have an interest. You have earned my respect, Stone Dweller. Thank you. Speak to Helene. There are still questions that require answers.
I didn't want to say anything with all these poor people around. They've already gone through so much. But after studying the situation, I think I know what's going on in the forest. The terrible magic that infects these creatures. I've heard stories, but I've never seen it used. Reach magic. I don't know how this happened. Even the Guardians of the Weird are silent. This is much worse than I originally imagined. Elemental spirits connected to the Weird Tree. They guide us in protecting the land. But if we cannot reach them, they cannot aid us. I must ask for your continued help in this. All of Glenumbra may be at risk if this blight continues to spread. You must meet with Wira Selena. She was the first to sense the disturbance and may know more about Reach magic. We have to find a way to stop this or the very earth around us will perish. Please, find my sister on the road north of this mill.
Who goes there? Identify yourself. Bandits attacked a caravan up the road. We've got them pinned in a noble's house. But they're holding the family hostage. If we attack, they'll kill everyone. Not my call. You should talk to Captain Farley-Vere. She's on the road west of the camp.
Between cities, it's usually just me on the road. Well, me and the other idiots looking for a profit. Speaking...
Slayed Captain Blackheart. Thank the Divines for brave souls like you.
I'm a little busy. The Red Rook's bandits are holding hostages. They're in a house down the lane. A patroller sent you? Then listen carefully, because I always have a plan. The Red Rooks use trained wolves to guard their camp. Increases their confidence, but also makes them careless. We can exploit that to save the hostages. I need someone who can get in quietly, grab some wolf's woe, and take it to the hostages. With that plant, the hostages can walk out without attracting the attention of the wolves. The hostages are locked in a house, so you also need to find a key. We can help once you get those nobles out. My guards are itching to hunt down those brigands. Just be careful, and good luck. The wolf's woe grows all around here, so it should be easy to acquire. As for the key, grab a Red Rook uniform and look around. The disguise should fool the bandits, but watch out for the wolves. Otherwise, shake a few bandits until a key falls out.
don't get bruised again, dear.
Another bandit in my house? Have at thee, I say! How was that, my dear? Did I sound fearsome? What a daring rescue! This is quite exciting. Look, everyone, we have Wolf's Woe. This will be an adventure. Those ruffians came by boat. Ingenious, really. Slip in from the water, strike caravans on the road, then sail away. But the guards showed up and the bandits set traps on my estate. Clear those traps, or it'll be too dangerous for us to leave. I know. Take my hunting horn. It's upstairs. Then clear the traps and create a diversion. Set something on fire. That should keep the Red Rooks too busy to notice us. Sound the horn to signal us that it's safe. Meanwhile, I'll untie the others.
A moment, friend.
I'll have you free in no time, my love.
Please excuse my husband. He gets so enthusiastic. No, thank Mara. The only thing I regret losing is my jewelry box. It's a family heirloom. The rest we can replace. I'm just thankful we're alive. The bandit leader, an orc named Tharkul, he took it. The box only opens if you're a member of the family. I told him, but he didn't care. If you retrieve it, I can arrange a reward. Once you acquire my lockbox, please hold on to it until we're safely away from those dastardly bandits. And do be careful. I'd hate to think that someone got hurt trying to help me. Yes, my ancestor had the box made to protect her valuables while she was at sea. The box was tied to her blood, so that only her or her descendants could open it. It's been passed down from mother to daughter ever since. Why, jewelry, of course. Specifically, it contains the Noelame signet rings and the rings of the families that have joined with us through marriage. We carefully organize and store the rings in the box. Many of these rings go back generations.
I assumed that horn was a signal when I saw the nobles run out. Good thinking. Well done. With the nobles safe, my guards can storm the camp without worry. We won't have any trouble rounding up the rest of these Red Rook thieves. Here, compliments of the Daggerfall Watch.
Oh dear, you shouldn't have risked your life on my behalf. Oh my, I didn't think I'd see this again, and it's still sealed. This means the world to me. There are so many good memories in this box. Your kindness is appreciated, and here's the reward I promised you. Risking danger just to recover trinkets for me? Our family will always remember this.
I have a long walkabout ahead of me, Wayfarer. Make your purchases quickly so I may be on my way.
Please, we're dealing with serious matters here. The Guardians are in desperate need of our aid, and any interruption can have dire consequences. Oh, my apologies. You must be the stranger who helped my sisters at Dellin's Mill. I'm honored to meet you. I can't talk long. As you know, things are not well in our woods. The Guardians have gone silent, and this corruption spreads. They're elemental spirits. They used to guide us, but now Nothing. And just when we need them the most. There's an old rite to contact them that might work, but it's too dangerous for me or my sisters to perform. I don't know. You're not one of us. But we have to try something, I suppose. See the lurchers out there. Gather their limbs. That's the dangerous part. Then burn the limbs at the altar atop the nearby ruins. If it works, a guardian should appear. If you're able to speak to the elemental spirit, find me at the Vale of the Guardians. It's north of this location. I'll wait for you there. And please hurry. We need the wisdom and guidance of the Guardians now more than ever. If you must know, the Guardians are the Elnafey. They've been a part of the land since the dawn of Tamriel. The Guardians have been with us since we first found the Weird Tree. They protect the land and guide us in our duties. They are abominations of the Bloodthorns. The Lurchers were Spriggans once, until the cultists twisted and corrupted them. That's what the Bloodthorns do. We must stop them.
We have been waiting for someone to summon us. Angof the Gravesinger has imprisoned us, and we are cut off from the Weird. You must set the Guardians free. Have mortals so soon forgotten the old ways? Surely the Weiresses remember the Standing Stones. First, the stones must be cleansed of Angof's dark influence. Protect the Weird while they destroy the corruption binding the stones. No, but cleansing the stones should loosen Angof's grip. Tell Weiris Elena about the corruption. She will know what must be done. Our time grows short, mortal. Free us before Angof's corruption takes hold. We are the echoes of old voices, remnants of a time long ago. Still, a few of us remain. We were the Ifre, then we became the Elnafe, the Earthbones. We nurture the land and guide the Weird. They call us Guardians. They are a pestilence. They serve the corruption that binds us, the one called Angof the Gravesinger. The cult spreads his decay, planting his blighted seeds to pollute the natural world. They prepare a path for Angof's true master, Molag Bal. He is a tremor in the land, a poison in the water. He is a whisper, a shadow, a chill wind. He is Gravesinger and Reach Mage, Necromancer and Corruptor. Death and decay are his domains. Angof binds us and seeks to make us part of him. Far from here, where the earth and sky grow cold, lies the chill of the Reach. Daedra worshippers live there, mocking the Aedra, the Elnafe. They call themselves Reachmen, and their mages pollute the land with dark magic. Gravesingers are necromancers that seek power over life and death. They seek to control the realms we would nurture and protect. They call upon the Daedra who hide in darkness to aid them in their efforts.
A whisper echo through the forest. Was it the Guardians? Did they talk to you? Imprisoned? Our enemy is that powerful. We will do whatever we can to help. The Guardians must be set free. What must we do? Without the aid of the Guardians, we can't regain control of our weird tree. 4 of my sisters have gone north to cleanse the stones, but they need protection. Corrupted creatures attack them before they can destroy the foul vines that choke the stones. You must go and help them. Of course! The Standing Stones! I should have realized! Take my amulet and protect the Weird. When they're done, weaken a Lurcher and use the amulet to control it. Bring the controlled Lurcher to the Standing Stones on the hill. We'll do the rest. Meet us at the ritual site, and don't forget the Lurcher.
Selena told me you would come. I hope this works. Please don't let anything happen to me while I destroy these vines. You know, when you say it like that, I almost believe it. Let's do this thing. need a minute to catch my breath, and then I'll meet you at the ritual site. See these vines? I need to go faster! Be ready for another attack. You destroyed it! Give me a minute, and I'll meet you at the ritual site.
Corruption radiates from this thing. I can feel it worming into my soul. The corruption spreads outward, altering or killing all the forest creatures. We have to destroy it. Then keep me safe while I destroy this damned thing. Almost finished. Keep them off a little longer. We've done it! Let me catch my breath and I'll head to the ritual site.
I loathe these vines. They reek of death and corruption. But every time I try to deal with them, I'm attacked by cultists or corrupted creatures. I wish I had your confidence. I mean, I know what to do. And now you're here, right? Oh, what am I so worried about? Consider those damn vines destroyed! Stay alert. I'm not done yet. It's destroyed. I'll meet you at the ritual site once I've rested for a minute.
By my blood, the corruption is washed away.
The sacrifice has made this holy place pure again. We can begin the ritual whenever you are ready. That poor Spriggan spirit is finally free. It is a lurcher no more. Through its blood, we have cleansed this site. Everything is ready. I agree. They've been imprisoned for much too long. Beldama, sisters, focus your power on the stranger. It's time to break Angolf's hold on the Guardians.
At last, the chains of corruption fall away. We are free of Angolf's hold.
Angolf will pay for this insult.
Speak, champion of the Guardians. We are in your debt. We are free. This is how it should be. We are Earth's bones. We endure. We knew someone would come to set us free. We just didn't know when it would happen, or who it would be. It seems right that you were the one. You are mortal, but also not mortal. Angolf has much to fear from you. Angolf's evil flows deeper than the wellspring of this land. This must end quickly. There is more work for you, champion. Go to the Weir Tree and find Weirus Gwen. We protected her from Angolf's slaves, but she cannot save the Weir Tree. That task belongs to another. Go, and learn what must be done.
I thought it was hidden here. My Breton neighbors. Just because my father was a Reachman, they think I'm a cursed follower of Angolf. Angolf the Grave Singer. He's a Reach Mage, part of this damned Bloodthorn cult. You're not blind. You've seen the vines, right? You don't trust me either. Look, I'm loyal to the Covenant. My father came from the Reach 30 years ago with Durkarach's horde. He was wounded at Daggerfall and left behind, and my mother, well, she took him in. I never met him, if that's what you're asking. My father told me tales of Angolf. He was a terror even back then. And now he's here in Glenumbra. Every Breton bully has joined his Bloodthorn cult, but I get the blame. I was going to hide here until this blew over, but now Angolf's cultists have invaded the woods. If Angolf isn't killed or driven out, I've got no choice but to leave Glenumbra. Maybe a ship captain in Aldcroft will take me as far as Wayrest.
I hear you wiped out a vampire lair in Glenumbra. We need more people like you around here.
Come to help the great Lord deal, have you? Ah, another one. Here to work with the great Lord Deal, no doubt. I'm renowned throughout Glenumbra, you know. Well, there's no excuse for that. You've certainly heard about the Harpy menace that threatens Daggerfall. Of course you have. My sons and I are here to put an end to that threat. I know you want to help. Start by finding my stupid hirelings. The daggers. They're out gathering information about the Harpies. Know your enemy and all that. You'll get paid once I have enough to complete my research. Take this dagger with you. He knows what to do. Off with you now. Bumnog will help you. Interesting fellow. Always fights fair. Refuses to use weapons against the Harpies. Just his fists. Can't imagine that that works out for him, but he's the only dagger still here, so what do I know? Who, not what. The Daggers. A mercenary group out of Daggerfall. They're highly trained and extremely deadly. Or so they tell me. They're also lost. But they do work cheap, which makes them perfect for my purposes. They left hours ago, and we haven't heard a word since. Only Bumnog returned, which is why he's available to help you. Why are you still here? Get out there and find the missing daggers. Why do I have to explain these things to you? Just talk to Bumnog. He knows what I hired the daggers to do. Now stop pestering me and let me enjoy all this nature that my sons keep going on about.
You're going to help me find the rest of the daggers? I'm not sure you're dagger material. Your hands look kind of soft and delicate. Like you've never beaten anything into submission with your own two fists before. The daggers were hired to help Lord Deal gather research about the Harpies. We get him what he needs and we get paid. Simple as pie. But now the rest of the daggers are missing. We need to find them and make sure our first mission is a success. Everyone has to start someplace. Even the Fighters Guild had a first mission, didn't they? Who are you to judge? Now let's get out there and do what we're getting paid for. Let's find the daggers and bring back their research. Harpies, eggs, whatever we can bring back so Lord Deal can figure out why these birds have become so violent lately. We have to find the missing daggers. Gelvin, our leader, and the Remley brothers. We find them and help them finish their jobs. And while we're at it, we look for the Queen Birdie, Fowling. She's a vicious killer and she needs to be dealt with. We shouldn't dawdle, so make it quick. We're an odd bunch, that's for sure. Gelvin found each of us either drinking away our troubles or begging for gold on the streets of Daggerfall. We were good for nothing and all but forgotten. Gelvin wanted to change that. A few of us tried to join the city guard or hook up with the Fighters Guild. Truth be told, they wouldn't have us. We weren't good enough for them. So we formed the Daggers to show them that they're wrong. Lord Deal's guards were in the city, looking to hire some muscle. They found us in the Rosy Lion, celebrating our newly formed partnership. We needed a job. Lord Deal needed some help, and here we are. Well, not really. We were talking about how we needed to find a job, and suddenly Lord Deal's men were making us an offer. We took it as a sign that we were doing the right thing. The daggers were going places. I vowed that I would always face my opponents as an equal. If an enemy came at me with a sword, I would meet his blade with one of my own. The Harpies fight with claws. How could I go up against them with anything more than the fists nature gave me? Sharp and natural. They don't wield weapons, so neither will I. I will fight them head-on, fists against claws, and I will do so with honor. still standing around for? Let's go find the daggers and get this job done. With the gold that Lord Deal pays us, we can set up a shop within the city and buy proper uniforms and everything. Wait, is that Gelvin up there? What in Malakath's name is he tangled up in?
Thank you, old friend. Thought I was going to become bird food before you got here. Hello. That was a bit of a predicament. The Remley brothers do set a good trap, I must say. That one trussed me up tight. But now that you're here... Wait a moment. Who are you? Help. The daggers don't need any... Oh, who am I kidding? I'm the leader of the daggers, and we don't have a clue as to what we're doing out here. If you're willing, we'd appreciate any help you care to provide. I was collecting unhatched harpy eggs to bring back to camp. One of the things Lord Deal needs to complete his research. I got one egg, but we need to collect a few more. In the nests above, be gentle with them. I don't want the hatchlings to come to any harm. I'm going to rest a moment and then head back to camp. With the gold his lordship pays us, the daggers can really make a go of this mercenary thing.
How in the 8 do you expect to trap a flying harpy with a trap set on the ground? You're an idiot.
You know I hate it when you yell at me, brother. Now calm down and help me figure out how to get a harpy to trip a wire on the ground. Huh. I see the problem now.
Looks like we found the Remley brothers.
Did Lord Deal send you? Well, there's nothing new to report except that my brother is an idiot. Armo placed dozens of traps and he just realized something. Harpies don't walk. Now we're trying to figure out how to salvage the situation. We're trying to capture a few of these creatures. Lord Deal wants to observe the harpies and see if they demonstrate any odd behavior that might explain the recent acts of aggression. But we're still working on our traps, as you can see. We've got some throwing snares. The only problem is the damn harpies are too strong. They need to be weakened before you hit them with the throwing snares. I may have a sword, but I'm not a fighter. That's too dangerous an approach for me. Lord Deal said a few. So 4, I'd say. Yes, 4 harpies should do. If this works, please tell his lordship that we gave you the traps, all right?
This is a fresh kill. Be alert. Whatever did this could be watching us. Let's head back, but I want to have a chat before we enter the camp.
Is there something I can help you with? His lordship keeps me very busy, you know.
Listen, you've helped the Daggers, a lot, and we appreciate it. But before we go back to camp, I need to make sure you understand something. Gelvin has a good head and a good heart. Always puts the daggers first and keeps us on the right side of the law. Of course, that's part of the reason we're still struggling. Sometimes mercenaries can't be too choosy about the jobs they take. This Lord Deal, something's not right with him. Why does a noble care about harpies? But whatever, it doesn't matter. The daggers need to get paid. If not, our mercenary group collapses, and we're all back to the streets, again. You're not listening. I'm saying that it doesn't matter. He could be a saint or Molag Bal himself. What matters is that we get paid so the daggers can stay together. Got that? Now let's get back to camp.
Ugh. When Gelvin gets back, he won't stand for this.
Ah, you're back. Much more reliable than those damn daggers. I don't see their leader, Gelvin. He didn't come back with you? More gold for the rest of you, I suppose. Now hand over the eggs, please. I believe we already covered that. Now let me have a look at these beauties. Oh, so round and smooth. Well, oval. Yeah. I'll begin studying these eggs right away. Wait a moment. Where's the other egg? I was promised 5 harpy eggs, not 4. Didn't they teach you to count? There will be no deal without 5 eggs. 5! No more, no less. Imbeciles! Then I suggest you find that bootless lout and get it back. There will be consequences. These are my eggs. Let his sister know that if Gelvin doesn't return, I will have his right hand cut off for stealing from a noble. Dealing with fools and idealists makes me thirsty. I need a drink.
Greedy, ignorant, ugly son of a mammoth's ass. That deal can go leap in the river. I wish I knew. The rest of the daggers made it back, but there's been no sign of my brother. I had my doubts about getting involved with Lord Deal. I just wish I'd told Gelvin about them. But who are you anyway? Why do you care about any of this? Well, you helped my brother and his daggers so far. I only hope we can continue to count on your support. So, listen. I heard Deal's threats. His claim is ridiculous, but he has gold. Paying guards to support a false accusation is easy enough. I think I know where you can find my brother. Whether you agree with Gelvin, me, or the bastard Deal over there, we need to find Gelvin and that egg. I don't want to see my brother get hurt. There's a house on an island directly west of this camp. That's where we first met with Lord Deal. I could see that Gelvin was very interested in the place. I'll give you a head start before I tell Deal about it. Now go. Find my brother.
Something fishy's going on here. I think Lord Deal hasn't been entirely truthful with us. But how did you find me? Grenette sent you, didn't she? I know. I was on my way back when I decided to investigate this place. When we first arrived, Deal and his sons came out of this building to greet us. I figured if there was any place to get any answers, it was right here. Nothing yet, but this whole situation feels off. I'm sure that his lordship hasn't told us the whole truth about the Harpy frenzy. Anyway, I'm not leaving this house until I find something that sheds light on what Deal is up to. You found something, didn't you? What is it? Tell me what you found. Let me see that. What in the name of... Lord Deal's been poisoning the Harpies the entire time. He orchestrated their frenzy, and he claimed he's been trying to help. He's been using us. It's tainted gold. The daggers don't operate that way. We're not common thieves that break the law just to fill our own pockets. This is a dangerous edge to walk, and it cuts both ways. I didn't want the daggers to start out like this. Well, we'd have to disband. We'd go our separate ways and hope we can find a way to feed our families. Damn it. This isn't an easy choice. I just can't accept that we'd get our start helping a noble do the wrong thing. Of course, you're right. Deal has to be stopped. I think I know what to do. And if all else fails, I've always been good at improvisation. You've done enough. Just keep Lord Deal busy. It's not up to you to finish this. That's work for the daggers. Even if it turns out to be our last job, we're going to do it right.
Gelvin's sister gave up his location so easily. Now where is that damn thief? And where in the 8 is my damn egg? What did you say? How dare you? That's my property. You expect to get away with this? I knew I shouldn't have put my trust in a bunch of low-life scum. You'll be in the hands of the Daggerfall Guard by the end of day. You think the Guard would believe you? Some street rats who lay a claim against a well-respected noble? You're dumber than you look. The Guard will chuckle as they lead you to the dungeons. Or maybe we'll just end this right now. You? Friends with the king? Oh, that's brilliant. Really, it is. You must dine with his family on a regular basis? Perhaps vacation together in the countryside? I'll give him your regards. It's a shame about your tragic accident and all. Guards! Guards! What in the Divine's name are you...
So Gelvin killed the bastard? I didn't think he had it in him. It still doesn't change the fact that he botched our entire deal. I told you to talk him out of it. Yeah, I figured that out. His lordship was also behind the whole Harpy menace thing too, wasn't he? Well, it's a good thing I decided not to count on Gelvin to turn a profit. I snatched this from the camp when no one was looking. It's not much, but a few gems are better than no gems at all. Why don't you tell Gelvin that you found it on his lordship's body? We don't want him to think I stole it or anything. Well, I trust you. Besides, I need to set these birdies free, and they're not going to be very happy when I do. You've dealt with enough dagger business for one day. Leave this to me. Go on, go on. I'll catch up later.
I'm sorry I failed you. I know you were all counting on me. Deal's gone, but I don't feel any better. These people depended on me and I failed them. I can't even do one job correctly. What do you mean? The pompous ass carried these around with him? That figures. Technically, we did complete the job. Wait, what am I saying? This isn't right. These gems don't belong to us. I thought the daggers were finished, but, well, looks like we have a future after all. Here, take this, for helping us finish the job. Consider it a small token of our appreciation. You'll always have a place with the daggers if you want it.